So hello everybody. Now after I heard my bio, now I need to put you on the ground, don't accept too much from me. But so I'm here to share with you my personal story. First of all, I think what happened here is it's something it's very unique, and it's to understand there is a huge challenge that hopefully someone needs that we need to deal with, and this is how we start to do things. So before I start, I will ask you a question. How many people here have heard the quotes, "Life begins at the end of the comfort zone"? Maybe, you don't need to raise your hand, it's okay. Probably all of you. But I'm not here to tell you why it's absolutely true. Instead, I want to talk with you about how stepping into the darkness outside of your comfort zone, it's a way of life. I was an officer in an elite combat engineer unit called Yahalom, as you heard, and I had a mission to demolish a tunnel. As a result, I lost my eyesight. But today, I want to speak with you about how stepping into the darkness outside of my comfort zone helps me to live fulfilling life despite my injury. I will try something with you. So try to close your eyes for a moment and try to imagine. When I say I stepped into the tunnel, I mean it. Imagine yourself looking into the darkness of the tunnel, but not just any tunnel that was built by a terrorist organization. You have no idea who or what's waiting for you inside, but somehow you have to find the courage to walk in. So how do you find the courage to walk in? Before I explain that, let's go back to my childhood. I was born and raised on small religious kibbutz on the Judea mountain called Herzliya. I spent most of my childhood outside, exploring nature, working in the agriculture, and causing trouble, too many trouble, like every normal boy. But growing up during the second Intifada meant for me and my friends that every day when we went to school, we went with buses with bulletproof windows. Our life was constantly in danger. In order for me and my friends to live our life and enjoy it, we learn how to face fear at a very young age. When it came time for me to draft into the army, I was eager to serve the country. I drafted to Yahalom unit and I complete one of the hardest training in the IDF. Although the mental difficulty, it was quite intense, the mental difficulty was much harder. For a year and 4 months, our commander never told us what we're going to do in the next few days, let alone in the next few hours. But they taught us a very unique lesson. No matter what, you have to trust yourself to find a solution to any challenge. That lesson I took with me, and I will take with me until today, because it helps me to doing everything. So how all of that related? At the time I was staring into the tunnel, I was already officer in my unit, now leading my team to a difficult task. That terror tunnel, starting in Gaza and ended next to Kibbutz Ena Shlosha, putting many innocent Israeli people in danger. If I was afraid, of course. But I didn't let the fear guide me, because I understand that fear is natural. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice. If I was ready, I felt ready, because I trust myself and I trust my team that we find a solution to any challenge. Unfortunately, I left this mission in the helicopter, with severe second-degree burns all over my body, 7 breaking bones on my face alone, and my life hanging by a thread. I was put in coma for a few days, and I had too many surgery before I can even remember what happened to me. When my officers come to visit me in the hospital, I ask them, why you come to visit me? Well, few days I will be back to my team, to my unit. So obviously no one had enough courage to tell me how bad I looked. I committed to be an optimistic, and after a few weeks, when my doctor started to operate my eyes, they told me to come back in a few days and to see what happened. After 3 long days, very, very long days, I backed, and they asked me if I see something. My short answer was, first take off the bandages. And then I heard the 3 words that changed my life. We already did. So even now I can't explain the feeling that I had in that moment, but it feels like the wall closing on you. Your body was too heavy to carry, and you basically think that your life is over. My short trip back to my hospital room felt like an hours. And then me and my dad had a conversation, and I promised to myself 2 promises. First, I will be back to my unit to complete my service. And second, I will never let to my disability to stop me from living my life. So after a few months, I back to my unit and I serve as a development officer in the tunnel department. And I became committed to sports. I did too many kind of sports, so I'm going to tell you everything about that. But I became as an Israeli para-rowing team, and I'm going to represent Israel in the next Paralympic game in Tokyo in August 2020. But I came here today to speak with you about something that today and then was on my focus, and I always try to memorize that and to be in my head when I dealing with tunnel, and still today I'm doing that. You never gonna know what will be in the tunnel, because the underground world is too difficult. There is too many options, too many things. So never assume that you know what you're going to deal with. Thank you. If you have questions, I will happy to answer. If I will know the answer.
Yes. I'm first. You hear me?
I try.
Yes? Okay. Can you explain, please, how can you prepare soldiers to have this kind of subterranean war? Is there any way, psychologically or other, to prepare the soldier to the threats that you are surviving?
I think one of the tools that I just talked about, it's to know how to deal with the unknown. Because once you know how to deal and you trust yourself, you know how to do it. Because you trust yourself and you trust some kind of innovative solution, and you can deal with something that you don't know what you're going to deal. So it's very hard, and I don't know if you've been on tunnel or you're going to see some tunnel, but my first experience with tunnel, like a real tunnel, a real terror tunnel, it was like surprise, because I basically train. There is 2 kinds of tunnel. One kind in the south and one kind in the north, and they're not the same, and everything have their own unique what you need to do there and what you need to do there. But it doesn't really matter, because when I just stepped in the tunnel, I realized what is my target, what I need to do, how I need to mapping everything and to collect something from the tunnel, and they allowed me to deal with after I go out. So I don't know if there is something specific that you can do this and that will help people to deal with tunnel, but it's basically to train them to because once you're in the tunnel, you walk on automatic. There is no manual position. You just know what you need to do and you do it. So after you do training, after training, after training, you're walking on automatic. So it's not a question like what you need to do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, then Achiya, I'm going to say thank you. It's Miri Eisen. I'm going to say
Miri.
thank you. Hi. I'm going to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm going to invite Achiya.